Farms. It's Miss Barbara. I am at Rainbow Farms in Perry, right off of Town Line Road today, and we are going to talk to farmer Larry about some of the plants that he grows here, about seeds and why they're important.
We're going to talk about how seeds grow, how plants grow. We're going to talk about seeds, we'll talk about things that we need to have to grow and to produce food for all of us to eat. Now, let's talk about three very important factors you have to have when I'm a farmer and I'm trying to grow things. The first thing we have to have is rain, which if you look up at the sky today, it's cloudy, it's raining, and we got plenty of rain. And the second thing we need to have is sunshine, which we don't have today because the clouds are covering them up. The third thing we need to have is something, it's this right here, and that's soil. Now, a lot of folks call it dirt. We can't call it dirt here. Dirt's what you find on the kitchen floor. Dirt's what you find behind your ears when your mom's washing and you're cleaning up. Soil is what we grow things in. So if we have those three things, and then farmers can get the seeds and the fertilizer, everything else, then we can grow a nice crop. So those three things are very important. Now, what you probably don't know is that every plant put on the earth has a flower. Every plant. The pine trees over there, my cameraman, can you shoot and take a look at that pine tree? That big old pine tree has a flower. I don't know what the flower looks like, but I know there's a flower because at the end of the year, we have pine cones. The pine cones came from the flower, and the pine cones have seeds. Now, flowers are very important because we all know that's a pretty flower. That's a not so pretty flower. Well, there's a nice looking flower. And another flower. Those are pretty cool looking. Well, look at this one. That one's a flower, and that's not very colorful. But all these flowers are very important because when you have flowers, then you have seeds. When you have flowers, then you have fruit. No flowers, no seeds. No flowers, no fruit. And there's other factors that enter in to get that fruit, but the important thing is that we have to have flowers first. That's what put every plant to have a flower so the plant can reproduce. Now let's look at this flower here. This flower here is a little miniature sunflower. I think we've all seen them sometime or another. But this one beside it doesn't look very good. Well, especially this. This was the sunflower. It's all dried up. Well, it looks pretty ugly. But what's in the center of there is what's important. So we first have to have the flower. And then that center dries up. And I wonder what's inside there. Well, this is what's so important. Is that once we have the flower, in the center is the seeds.
Farmer Larry then put us in the side-by-side and drove us to the next spot of the property where he wanted to talk about more plants.
Hello, back again. Now we're in our tomato field. Now, tomatoes, I love tomatoes. I hope you guys do. Well, this is a late tomato field. It's starting to be finished up. It's pretty cold out here for tomatoes. Now, that tomato there is a nice big red tomato. And remember, this plant here, one seed. Took one seed to produce this tomato plant. That tomato plant will produce probably a bushel of tomatoes. And in that bushel of tomatoes, I wonder if there's any seeds in there. Let's see what we have here. Well, look at that. Man, there's a whole bunch of seeds in that tomato. And remember, one seed grew the tomato, and look at all the thousands of seeds that come from all the tomatoes. So there's probably going to be 100 tomatoes on this plant, all packed with seeds.
After the tomato field, Farmer Larry took us to another part of the property.
Now we're back, and here we are in a pepper field. Now I know some of you guys and gals think you're tough, but I tell you, if you were out here, I'd let you try one of these. These are Tabasco hot peppers. And if you know what Tabasco sauce is, it's hot. So look at all these Tabasco peppers on here. Those will smoke you up. And this one here, this one's a cherry hot. That one will make you cry. And then we've got the jalapenos. Oh, let's see. Let's look at these jalapenos. I think that jalapeno will make a grown man cry right there. So these are hot peppers.
Then we went to see plants that we talked about in class. It's plants that we cook with.
Okay, we have another plant here that a lot of folks, the cooks and the chefs and the moms, they love this plant here. This, you're not here to smell it, but if you were here, this is basil. And basil is so good. Now, normally, we'll always pick the leaves off for basil. We don't want these tops, but I let these grow and they got too big. And when they got too big, they produced what? But a flower. And in that flower, when they dry up, in that flower will be seeds.
Our next stop on our trip was the field that has the cauliflower.
This is cauliflower. And the cauliflower has this great big plant. And if you open it up, look at the cauliflower that we have there. Now, where's the flower? We call it cauliflower. That's not the flower. If I let this head grow, and eventually it will split, and then out of it will come a seed head, and there'll be flowers there that will have seeds. But again, like broccoli, this is part of the flower that we eat. And man, is it good. And it's good and healthy for you. Now, Farmer Larry, I grow 4 different colors of cauliflower. We have this pretty white, and we have purple, and orange, and green. So those types of cauliflowers we have, and they're all very nutritional for you. The orange is 30 times higher in vitamin C and beta carotene than the white.
Our final stop on this field trip was the carrot field.
Okay, class, we're at the last field on our field trip. And this field here, you look at this, you're thinking, what in the world is that? Well, if you guys watch Bugs Bunny on TV, maybe you don't, but Bugs Bunny likes to eat what? He likes to eat carrots. This is my carrot field. We grow 5 different colors of carrots. We grow orange, white, yellow, red, and purple. This one here is a purple. Let's see what we got here. Whoa, man, you gotta really pull up on it. And it's a big old purple carrot, and it's a crazy looking one. Look at that crazy carrot. Now, they're supposed to be straight, but these kind of grew kind of crazy. Now, this is a dark purple, but watch. It's all purple all the way through. Now, the purple ones are really good, but if you put it in soup, you're going to have purple soup. The yellows and the reds and the whites, they don't bleed, but this one does. So that's your purple carrot. Okay, now you might say, well, where's the seeds on the carrots? Well, when this carrot plant gets big, and I let it keep growing, up through the top will be a seed head. And there'll be a big, well, a lot of them are big white flowers, but with the purple carrot, it's a purple flower. And it'll get about that tall, and I'll have the seed head, and the seeds, the flower will bloom, and then when the flower starts drying off, it is full of seeds. So again, it's very important. You gotta have a flower to have seeds. You gotta have a flower to have fruit. And you gotta have the bees to pollinate to make that all happen. Okay.
Then we were on our way back to their little store where they sell produce. Sold at Rainbow Farms was grown at Rainbow Farms. All right, friends, well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in class.